greatest rainfall disaster for this city in history. Think about that.
So we're on the right-hand side of that rotation.
Yeah, which is the worst place to be.
It is.
Saturday about 9:30, just looking at the radar and how deep red it was.
Wow, listen to that, it's really coming down that way.
It just sat, and the level and the amount of rain per hour was astronomical, and it just sat.
We have always been known as a community where neighbors help neighbors. So those of you who have boats and high water vehicles, we need your help.
Orlando and his family here out this afternoon after the request from the county judge.
Neighborhoods with water up to wherever.
Anybody in there? We are here to assist and give aid.
And people desperate to get out and getting on boats.
We've saved probably 150, 200 on this boat alone, plus there's hundreds of other boats out here. It's just amazing the outpouring of people that are willing to help.
And you see children being handed to rescue crews. Lives destroyed, lives interrupted.
I grabbed a pair of pajamas, clothes for 2 days, and said, let's go.
Lives turned upside down. All over the city, not just one area, not just part of an area, all over the city.
There are still hundreds and hundreds of folks who need to get to higher ground.
First it was evacuation.
The good news here, as you can see, there is a full court press of first responders.
Then it was the shelters. That became a scene unto itself.
In the Georgia Brown, they've been offered food, sleeping equipment, clothing, medical services, as we seek to transition them to a better place.
This mass of humanity that is displaced and suddenly has to be taken care of.
You see mothers just curled up on cardboard with their babies.
And their stories were incredible. I walked 3 hours in high water to get back to my family. The roof caved in. These guys came in boats and they picked us up and they got us out of there.
This has been an unprecedented storm, a lot of rain falling in the entire region, not just the city of Houston, but in the entire region.
If they don't release it, you go over the banks and they have no control then.
We were on the brink of the entire city being swallowed if those dams had burst.
We have never seen water this high. We have water in some locations going into the second stories of homes and the second story of apartment buildings.
That's why they were releasing water from the reservoirs. For a couple of days, they felt like we got this, we can manage it. In the process, we're gonna flood some homes because we're releasing water. Better to flood a few thousand homes than lose an entire city.
1 week after Harvey hit, and it still takes a boat ride to get to his house.
Some people will be out of their homes for months, maybe even a year plus.
Crews are working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The city has jumped in with both feet and said, let's get this city back on its feet. People are going to be getting their homes back together. Businesses are going to be starting up again.
Starting today, they're all back together under the same roof.
As overwhelming as the tragedy is, the compassion is just as overwhelming.
We as moms can get out there. We might not be able to do drywall, but we can make sandwiches.
I really have been amazed at how people have responded, either by their donations.
We're all people together helping each other, and that's the way it should be all the time. It's a beautiful thing.
Their time.
My job is saving pictures. We've saved actually a lot of them.
Their prayers.
We say we worshiped and now we're doing workship.
As difficult as all of this has been, think of all the problems this thing created. It has been matched by the generosity and the compassion and the diligence of the people here, determined to overcome, to get the city back on its feet.
That's what makes our city great.
And you do that one person at a time, one neighborhood at a time, and eventually the entire city heals.
It should be called a city of help, because they are helping me and a lot of other people.
We will heal. Won't be easy, won't be quick, but we'll heal. And we'll learn lessons from this.
This storm has not redefined who we are. If anything, this storm has made us even stronger and prouder to be Houstonians.
2 miles behind me is Dickinson Bayou. Dickinson Bayou goes under I-45. Right now it goes under and it goes over I-45. We are told that on this side where I'm standing, the southbound side, it's as much as 3 feet deep across I-45. On the northbound side, at least 1 foot deep, but that measurement was about an hour ago, and as you can see, it's still raining here.
We've been watching the evacuation underway there of patients, 90 patients total at this facility.
We're hoping that they're all okay. Medical staff are still with them on scene, and authorities are doing the best they can, but this is why we saw quite a few boats also lined up trying to launch in the water closer to these medical buildings.
The flashing lights down there, that's a rescue boat. They just put in the water down there, hoping to get into these neighborhoods, get some of these people who haven't been as lucky, haven't been able to get out of their house, haven't been able to get someplace high, someplace dry. And this is more than likely a scene we're going to see over and over and over throughout the day here in the Sagemont area.
Talking to HPD dive team crews who are out there, they rescued at least 28 people from the Arbor Court apartments and neighboring apartments in that area. You remember those from the tax day floods, how high the water got? When we were there, Houston police told us we had to go. Even though we were on a bridge, we were at a high point, if we did not leave then, the water on either side would climb so high we would be trapped there for days. And unlike the tax day floods, this rain isn't showing any signs of letting up for several days.
We have stopped because we heard there was another house with children inside, and here they come, a family walking towards our boat, helping them get out of this subdivision, get out of this horrible flooding we've seen out here in Fort Bend County. Are you okay, sir? Here you go. Do you need a hand? Here you go. Here you go. It's okay. Here you go. You're okay. Here you go. Okay. You want to sit down and I'll get them to you? Okay.
The word we have from Harris County flood control officials is that the waters are going to rise because, again, the Addicks Reservoir, which is literally just a stone's throw from this area, is overflowing. Its spillways can no longer handle the amount of water coming in from area creeks, and this is a result. So it's boat after boat after boat of victims of Harvey who have tried to wait it out so far, but have been unable to wait it out. And of course, it's time to go. It's time to go. Sir, how high was the water in your home?
I'm just hoping.
How high was the water?
It's about waist deep.
And were you in an apartment or a
apartment on the second floor, and it was rising.
Second floor, it was waist deep?
No. It was waist deep.
There you go.
On the first floor, but it was rising.
And which apartment complex are you in?
Cypress Park.
Okay. I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad you're going to get dry.
Thanks.
All right. You take care.
You too.
They have been working non-stop, now hovering just a few feet above us. And taking off to the south toward Galveston, using I-45 as a landing pad and runway as they continue to work on rescues in and around this area of Dickinson and Santa Fe.
Hold on just a second. Are you guys headed down to the truck right here? No, there's a truck driver stuck here in about 10 feet of water. Thank you. Okay, these guys have a boat. We've got the Harris County Sheriff, water rescue teams, an airboat here. Hopefully we can get down to this guy. I'm gonna try to get his attention. There is now water filling his cab. I'm trying not to break your eardrums as I scream. Oh, here, the deputy is gonna check on him.
Sir, there's a boat here.
Tonight, KHOU 11 investigates exposed a broken 911 system in the weeks after Hurricane Harvey. Now we're learning just how long people were waiting for help.
The sheriff's office says all emergency calls should be answered within 10 seconds. But investigative reporter Scott Knoll found some people were put on hold for more than 20 minutes.
You know how much I love you.
They're the words of a heartbroken husband, lyrics that now carry a deeper meaning.
Absolutely the love of my life.
A love affair cut short.
Accidents happen, but to get brought down like that.
By what Gene Bowman says didn't happen the day his wife Janet needed help.
I'm good, Janet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was September 9th, 2 weeks after Hurricane Harvey flooded Houston and forced Harris County's 911 center out of its downtown home and into temporary quarters. A move that triggered big problems for the system and thousands of callers needing help.
And it became just a capacity issue.
Jason Spencer is spokesman for the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
We know that we had, thousands of calls over that time period that were not answered in our target of less than 10 seconds.
What Bowman didn't know the day his wife stopped breathing, the average time it took 911 callers to get someone on the phone was nowhere near that goal of 10 seconds or less. According to Sheriff's Department records obtained by KHOU 11 Investigates, the average wait time on September 9th was 5 minutes 13 seconds. Bowman's wait even longer.
A message comes on and says, we're experiencing a high call volume. Please stay on the line. Do not hang up.
The sheriff's office says it has no record of Bowman's call. But records from Bowman's cell phone company show he spent more than 13 minutes on hold.
Harris County 911. What's the location of your emergency?
He never did hear those words. Instead, a neighbor drove 3 blocks to the nearest ambulance station to summon help. Rescuers performed CPR and eventually brought Janet Bowman back to life. But the damage was done.
3 days into it, her heart stopped. Her heart stopped, and we kind of knew. We knew that she hadn't got enough oxygen.
Days later, Janet, a retired Harris County Sheriff's deputy, died.
She would have had a fighting chance if the system hadn't failed us.
Is that what you believe? That had 911 gotten the help here, that your wife could be alive right now?
I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that.
Those are heartbreaking stories for us. It's our job to save lives, and so to hear of people who were trying to get help and not able to get it in the time that they needed it is beyond distressing for us.
But the day Bowman called for help wasn't an anomaly. Records show in the 3.5 weeks after the flood, there were 11 days where callers averaged more than 2 minutes on hold, including one day where it took an average of 22 minutes 5 seconds for someone to answer those calls for help. So what was the problem? Internal emails show a variety of technical glitches, laptops running very slowly, connectivity issues, computer-aided dispatch keeps going down, meaning call takers had to handwrite the call information and give them to a person to deliver them to dispatchers. And when a 911 technician placed a test call nearly 3 weeks after Hurricane Harvey, he told a supervisor he, quote, waited for exactly 15 minutes and 32 seconds before my call was answered. Problems Harris County Judge Ed Emmett says can't happen in the next disaster.
All of us know it happened. We want to make sure it doesn't happen. So going into next hurricane season, this will be right there at the top of the list of projects that we need to take care of.
Harris County 911.
After a month at the temporary location, dispatchers are now back in the county's 911 center. Spencer says problems with wait times are gone. The focus now, plugging the holes Harvey exposed in 911's backup plans.
We need to do better, and our commitment is to do better.
Fixes to a system Bowman says cost him the love of his life.
It can help a lot of people in the future, but not for us, not for me. It's my sweetheart is gone.
What, if anything, can be done?
It's a horrific situation.
To avoid scenes like this again. For the answer, some are turning to a genius who said,
problems can't be solved by thinking the way we were thinking when we created those problems. Quote is from Albert Einstein, and that's Houston in a nutshell. We got to think differently.
Professor Jim Blackburn and some Rice University colleagues who've studied Houston flooding for decades say there's no doubt Harvey would have battered any city, anywhere, But when you look at our 3 storms the past 3 years, they say,
we ought not to be shy about admitting that maybe what we were doing wasn't right.
What hasn't been right, says Professor of Architecture Albert Pope,
is to build the way we've been building, which is to build in the wrong place.
The wrong place, he says, is in flood-prone areas, where this map shows thousands of Harris County homes have been built over the past decade, and where rainwater runoff becomes a major concern.
And the building keeps going because Harris County engineers and your elected officials keep approving it. In fact, just 3 days before Harvey hit Texas, they greenlit this, a subdivision that butts right up to a creek smack dab in the 100-year floodplain.
But ask County Judge Ed Emmett.
It's an overstatement that rampant development has caused this. We have detention rules. Everybody has said that those detention rules are okay.
But not everyone says it's okay. Phil Bedient runs Rice University's Storm Prediction Center.
Clearly, it's not doing the trick. And that was proven, I believe, during the floods of 2015 and again of 2016.
So why hasn't there been tougher rules and regs?
Developers run the city. All right, they run the city.
Has the tail been wagging the dog for so many years?
The development keeps on going, and it just always keeps on going.
New development has been hardest hit near the Addicks and Barker Reservoir, which in turn caused a domino effect when engineers were forced to release water downstream into Buffalo Bayou, flooding thousands more.
When they started to do the really aggressive releases of the water out of the reservoirs, that's when an extra 3 foot put us over the top.
But the risk to these homes could be greatly reduced.
We can't wait. We shouldn't wait.
If officials take action on this report from 2015, it calls for a 3rd reservoir in northwest Harris County. The plan would create a berm under Cypress Creek and extend the Katy Prairie by thousands of acres. The goal? To hold water in what's known as the overflow zone, instead of sending it down creeks into the Addicks Reservoir and ultimately into homes.
We could protect as much as 18,000 acres that's in the overflow zone from flooding.
But when we asked Mary Piacentini, who runs the Katy Prairie Conservancy,
has this thing hit a brick wall?
I think that there now are a lot of people who recognize that, you know, it's, what is it, the definition of an insane person is to keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Well, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
The price tag for the project? Upwards of $400 million.
Unfortunately, we have more opportunities than funding.
A hefty amount, says the Harris County Flood Control District, until you consider the billions it will cost to recover and rebuild from Harvey alone.
Somebody needs to step up.
Blackburn says it's time to take a page out of Einstein's playbook.
We got to do things differently than we were doing when we created these problems.
That, he says, would be genius.
The proposed 3rd reservoir, of course, is just one potential solution, one of many that Judge Emmett concedes Harris County cannot handle alone. He says it's the state of Texas that needs to step up and say, we have to solve this.
It's a scene that's become all too familiar.
Everything you work for, it's just all out here like it's trash.
Yet with each pile of debris that we see comes a unique story.
It'll be good, huh?
Mm-hmm. Just so happens this one involves a man who tells them for a living.
I don't even know where to begin.
Mike Orta is usually behind the camera. He's one of our sports photographers at KHOU. He lives in Port Arthur, his home damaged by Hurricane Harvey.
You know, my mother took her last breath in here. And to just see it destroyed, it's just, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Each room has since been gutted, but items dear to the family still remain.
Only one thing that bothered me the most.
A little cowboy hat in their bedroom.
Isn't that crazy?
One toy with a story, all on its own. The hat belonged to Woody, which was the prized possession of his 5-year-old son, Maddox. The two inseparable most of the time, that is, until the storm hit.
Nanny, look at my toy. He's cute.
So these days, he's had to carry around a replacement.
Good night.
How he came to hold this particular doll, though, well, it all started with a plea.
Listen, this goes out to not just Southeast Texas, not just Texas, but to America.
That man is Damon West, one of Mike's good friends in Port Arthur. His message for help reached thousands on Facebook.
Mine's bad once in a while.
Including 2 men in upstate New York.
So we loaded up a truck, a trailer, and then we had so much supplies dropped off to the greenhouse from all these different volunteers, and they brought up, and then we filled that, and then we had to rent a U-Haul to fill that too.
Included in that delivery was a gift from a 10-year-old boy named Xander, a Woody doll to be exact, and it came with a note. Praying things get better for you all. Woody is very special to Xander, so I hope whoever gets him gives him a loving home.
When that guy pulled that backpack out of that truck and I saw that Woody doll, I mean, I cannot tell you how freaked I was.
He said, I have something for your son. And here he is. He got Woody.
Oh man, that's awesome. So go on Skype and find me under Michael Orta.
Who is that?
Here we go, buddy.
And thanks to modern technology, this past week the 3 met face to face for the first time.
Say hello.
Hey, Maddox. Hey.
Tell him thank you for the Woody doll.
Thank you for the Woody doll.
I wanted to make sure that someone ended up being happier than I was that day.
This is now a bond between strangers.
Oh, we love you. And I know that seems different to say, but I really mean that when I say I love you.
Because of a seemingly simple gesture that Mike admits will be hard to ever fully repay. What's it like to have a storyteller like you be a story?
It's easier for me to comfort people than it is people comforting me. Knowing that another child had a thought of trying to make another child happy, see a kid do that was special for us.
2 new friends. You could say it was destiny. In Port Arthur, Daniel Gotera, KHOU 11 News.
Are you addicted to your smartphone?
No.
No.
I don't think I am.
Are you willing to take a quiz to see just how much you might be addicted?
All right.
Come into our truth booth. We're going to give you 20 questions to see just how addicted you are.
If I were to run out of
credits on my monthly data limit, I would panic.
Oh, yes.
I'll give that a 3.
Running out of battery life.
And my smartphone would scare me.
If I did not have my smartphone with me,
I would be nervous because I would be
disconnected from my online identity.
Oh, it's 7. For real. If I did not have my smartphone with me, I would be nervous because I could not know if someone had tried to get a hold of me. 7. 7? 7. 7 again. 7. Yikes.
Come on out. I'm going to give you your score. No-mo-phobia. No mobile phone phobia. 0 to 20, you don't have any. 20 to 60, you got a mild case. 60 to 100, you have a moderate case of nomophobia. Any score over 100, it's severe. You ready to see your score?
Okay. Ooh, that's higher than I thought.
I got 130. That's so bad. I have nomophobia. Wow. I don't know what to say to that. I'm shocked.
124. You're pegging the meter.
Yeah, I'm addicted. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta have it.
But why?
It's just part of me. It's me. And if I don't have my phone, like...
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like if you need me, I can't answer.
The world's ending.
Sorry. It could end. Life will be over.
Over?
Over.
It's a phone.
It would be over.
These are the average suburban kids.
They're promising them the world and then delivering them into hell.
Sit your daughter down and let her know. There's people out there really ready to manipulate her.
Some would say you're only a baby.
Yeah. Some would say that. Everything just sounded nice, like the fast life and being able to do whatever you want, no parents, no rules.
Why motivation?
Man, a pimp gave me his name. He said, I'm gonna call you Motivation because you dedicated your woman and inspired her to be something that she wasn't.
Bring it back, bring me all that dough. I need 5 feet, cause you know how I go. I need a top notch choke, get down the floor. Say, tell your daddy, well, know how I go. I keep it flying. Snow bunny, top notch better have my money.
The money is addictive, man. It's like a drug, you know? It's adrenaline. It's a rush.
You got to pay daddy well.
I'm making rapper money. I'm seeing 100,000 in 6 months. At the end of the day, this just ran like a business. It's like Baskin's and Robbins. You got different flavors, you know? Everybody got their different tastes. Everybody got different type of girls they want. What'd you think of that? That you get out of jail card free? Get out of jail card free.
It's easy to beat the system. People beat the system all the time, so I guess he's telling the truth. It was a get out of jail free card. It made me feel like what happened wasn't really that serious and that it doesn't really matter. It happens all the time. Like, who cares if it's just another girl? Who cares if it's you this time?
Every day, getting money. Every day we ride around in Hummers. Big bodies, big cars, fancy cars, diamond rings, pinky rings, finer things. She loved me because I gave her the game.
A brunette with a show-stopping smile.
She was voted Best Personality her senior year. She was voted Most Talented. She was voted Miss School Spirit.
19-year-old Shelly Sykes is the last person anyone thought would be murdered.
I thought, Shelly, of all people, this would happen to Shelly?
Her mother, her sister, and police believe they know who did it. 2 men went to prison, convicted of kidnapping Shelly in 1986, but her body was never found. It was Memorial Day weekend and Galveston was packed, but one night of partying fueled by alcohol and drugs turned to murder.
Where was she the night she disappeared?
She was at work at Guido's and had gotten off work and was headed home.
It was right here.
Detectives found Shelly's car.
The driver's door was right here.
Right off the causeway. A blue Ford Pinto. We found video of it digging through boxes of evidence at the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. And pictures few people have ever seen.
Her clothing, her shoes, her tennis shoes.
Despite the evidence, detectives had no suspects until a year later, when an El Paso dispatcher got this call.
How can I help you? I think I know something about a girl that's missing in Galveston County. What's her name? Shelly Sykes.
It was John King on the phone, and soon after came an arrest.
Oh, I was like jumping up and down. I said, we got you.
But then came a twist. In a chilling note, King said he wasn't alone, and a guy named Gerald Zworst might know where to find Shelly's body.
This was their stomping grounds. I mean, they were familiar. This area was a well-known area for the kids to hang out and party.
Investigators say King and Zworst picked Sykes at random. They harassed her, she flipped them off, and they ran her off the road.
When they had buried her, they realized she was still alive because the dirt was moving. And they took a shovel and began beating it till she stopped.
To hear those kind of things and know how terrified she must have been, and it's just horrible. No family should ever have to go through anything like that.
But Shelly's mother, Erin, had to live with the fact that King and Zworst wouldn't be tried for murder. Because there was no body, they were only convicted of aggravated kidnapping with life sentences, which at the time carried 40 years.
It's like a It's like a sore that can never heal.
Shelley's family spent the past decade fighting parole, even offering to grant both men immunity if they led police to Shelley's body. But instead, it turned into a wild goose chase, first with King.
When King first brought you guys out here, what'd you think?
We kind of thought that, she's going to be buried behind his house.
Then Zworst led investigators to this blouse found in a sand pit. It looked just like her work uniform, but her family still isn't convinced.
I know the papers and everyone says that it was hers. We really don't know if it was hers.
In the end, detectives think Shelley's body was moved. But King died in prison in 2015.
There was relief because I wouldn't have to fight his parole anymore. But then there was anger because he died without telling us where Shelley was.
Leaving only Gerald Zworst.
He swears to this day that if he knew where she was moved, he'd tell us. So
You believe him?
I have no reason not to.
It's from the 80s after all. There's your second birthday.
Shelley's family is not giving up.
I don't want him to have any kind of a good life to live because he certainly didn't allow my sister to have any kind of a good life to live.
Zworst is up for parole this year, and they're preparing for a fight. Still hoping one day they can bring their sweet Shelley home.
Sanchez success.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions for the first time in franchise history.
This is a great night for us, and this is just incredible. Fans have been everything. This city deserves this, and we're going to come home tomorrow and have a big trophy to show them.
KHOU 11 News starts now.
What a series, what a game, what a win. We're live this morning outside Dodger Stadium. The Houston Astros won their first world title there just a few hours ago. Air 11 is live over at Minute Maid Park this morning. Nearly 20,000 fans watched the game inside on the big screen last night, and then they celebrated on the streets outside the stadium. Other fans, they rushed to get World Series gear. Thousands of them lining up, packing local Academy stores. We're live inside the Katy location this morning to see if there's anything left on the shelves. And right outside our studio, a local artist is creating a mural celebrating Houston Strong and the world champion Houston Astros. Good morning, everybody. We're glad you're with us. 6 o'clock. I'm Russ Lewis.
I'm Lisa Hernandez. Congratulations to our Astros, who are now World Series champs, winning Game 7 last night, 5-1. George Springer is your series MVP. And tomorrow afternoon at 2, we get to party with the parade downtown.
We have all your online reaction this morning. That's scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen. Oh, and one moment a lot of people are talking about this morning had nothing to do with the actual game. Carlos Correa stealing the show, popping the question to his girlfriend during a post-game interview on live TV. We have that for you coming up at 6:15.
All right. First up, though, let's head on out to L.A., where Matt Musil and Jason Bristol, still awake, they've been up all night. They're standing by for us. Guys, what an incredible moment in history. You all were there to witness. How you feeling this morning?
Yes, we are feeling good, and Dodger Stadium's pretty quiet right now.
Oh.
But they tried.
Oh, they went home sad.
They tried. They gave out these to all the fans. Fans really didn't have much of an opportunity to use them, did they?
They were waving them early. Oh, and then the game started.
Yes.
Yeah, George Springer led off with a double, and that ended that. And they were making plans for this parade out here. I heard the officials talking about, well, should we go right by the U.S. Bank building downtown? Where should we go?
We know where they're going now.
Yeah, they could fly to Houston.
Home. They're going home.
Fly to Houston, be part of our parade.
Yeah, so last night, the Astros sucking the excitement out of Dodger Stadium quicker than you can say Dodger Stadium.
The runs the Astros needed came early. In the first, with Springer on second, Alex Bregman's grounder too much for the Dodgers to handle, and Houston led 2-0 after 1. Then it's your series MVP, George Springer, his 5th home run of the World Series, tying a World Series record. This 2-run blast makes it 5-0 Astros in the second. Brad Peacock relieving a struggling Lance McCullers. The Dodgers were 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position. Charlie Morton, the last guy in, and he closes it out. The celebration is on. The Astros are your World Series champions, winning Game 7, 5-1.
And George Springer tying the home run record of Reggie Jackson and Chase Utley. Those are some pretty good names. And obviously now the Astros world champions thanks to George Springer.
Oh, just say that one more time. What are they?
World champions.
Whoa, I love that. I love that. Of course, they handed the ball to Lance McCullers to start in this contest, Game 7. Lance struggled a little bit, but he's going to explain to us a little bit what was up with that, because they definitely thought the Dodgers were trying to crowd the inside part of the plate. He took care of that. He just plunked a few of them. And let's hear part of our clubhouse interview with Lance McCullers.
Lance, I got to ask you. Obviously, you guys are wanting to work these guys inside. You didn't want to hit them.
No,
that was your strategy.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I was working inside, up and in. All these guys standing over the plate. They're leaning over my breaking ball, and I was clipping a lot of them. But I think it was a good thing, because the rest of the game they seemed pretty uncomfortable. It gave our pitching staff an opportunity to kind of use the outside half of the plate. So it ended up being really good.
How about the rest of your guys coming through behind you from the bullpen?
Everyone came through, man. Throughout this whole season, we don't get where we are without every single person on this team. Guys who are right here, right now, guys who are back home that played big roles for us. You know, Tony Kemp, Max Stassi, all these guys who are back home watching. You know, that we're all part of this, and we're not here without every single one of the guys who's contributed.
And how about George getting MVP?
He deserved it. He was the best player in this series. Awesome defense. He made one defensive mistake and get a home run his next time up. He absolutely deserved this moment for him. He was the best player, and it's fitting after the first game, everyone was like, hey, got to move him out of lineup, and he wins MVP.
Thanks, Lance.
And the other thing about Lance McCullers, yes, he struggled some. He hit, it's a World Series record, 4 batters. He never gave up a run. That's what Brian McCann said. He's back there catching these guys. He said, look, that guy, when he needed to make pitches, he made them and kept the line going for Brad Peacock and the rest of the guys coming in. Of course, Charlie Morton was fantastic.
He was. Good teammate, Lance McCullers, mentioning the names of those guys who were not on the postseason roster, but everyone plays a role, and that's what got the Astros to this world championship.
Exactly. That was the message. All right, what do you got here?
Well, Major League Baseball came by and gave us some of these this stuff that the Astros were wearing on the field, and I can tell you this, we were the first ones to get them, but we are certainly not the last.
No.
Russ, Lisa?
No, the shipments have came in early and often out here in Houston. People are lining up for that stuff.
Yes.
All right, guys, thanks.
You look sharp out there. Thanks, guys. They partied on the field in L.A. They partied here in Houston, and it was a scene decades in the making downtown.
Michelle Choi is going to pick up that story for us. She is live this morning at Minute Maid Park. A lot of people saw it there, Michelle.
Yeah, good morning, guys. That's right. A lot of folks outside at Minute Maid Park and, of course, here inside the team store, too. I can still feel the energy here in downtown, and I'm sure the whole city is still buzzing with orange fever. Just take a look at these good-looking World Series champions T-shirts. We're told thousands have sold so far. And, guys, I also want to show you my hat real quick. This one right here sold out, but fortunately, moments ago, we heard that a new shipment just came in, all bought by fans who were absolutely thrilled, ecstatic by that historic game. Under the sparkling lights, a sea of orange, Houston embracing the Astros, our World Series champions. Fans taking in the historic moment.
It's our first World Series championship we've ever had. It's our first World Series championship. We did it. They didn't believe in us, but we did it.
Leaving some speechless.
No words can describe it. I mean, it was amazing.
Others grateful for what the team stands for.
We already united with the hurricane, but this just brought it together.
A celebration for the ages spilling out into the streets. It's truly a moment that will never be forgotten.
World champions is all you got to say.
World champions indeed. You know, everyone in Houston, including fans here at this store, are so proud of our Houston Astros for what they've accomplished. Everyone trying to commemorate the moment. Guys, back to you.
They are hardcore. We love it. Michelle Choi, thank you so much.
And fans have also been lined up all night to get their hands on Astros World Series gear at Academy stores across the city. This is the KHOU store on I-10 in the Grand Parkway. It has been packed.
And Air 11 is over the Academy at 59. And Kirby, the line was wrapped around the store there earlier, too. Academy says it's not closing its doors at that Houston area, any Houston area location until 9:30 tonight, so you have your chance.
I passed the KHOU location at 3 this morning, and the lights were on, and people were wrapped around the front, the side of the building, went around the back of the building.
Oh, my.
It was unbelievable.
I'm just glad I'm here because otherwise I would be there probably dropping $300 or $400 on swag.
There's still
and
time.
I'm just glad I'm not doing that. My wife would be going, stop
all
that.
these like t-shirt companies made all these t-shirts, ahead of time. They're like, yes,
really.
you know what I mean? Thank goodness.
Everybody's having a good day.
Yeah, that's true. And when you buy your swag, you'll use it tomorrow at the parade. Tomorrow we have a nice parade. They're coming home. We're going to welcome them. We're going to cheer them on at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Darby will walk you through the parade route. It's basically downtown, but he'll show you the right streets. Temperatures should be topping out today and tomorrow. So both days in the mid 80s. So I think 2 o'clock when that parade starts, we should be in the low 80s. It's going to be hot and humid tomorrow. It really is. You're going to notice that. And then a stray shower is possible. So today and tomorrow, because of all the added moisture, you just can't rule that possibility out. Out the door this morning, no need to grab the jacket and no need really to grab the umbrella. I think the showers that we will see, if we see any at all this afternoon, will be really light and mid 70s. I mean, we're already starting off warm, and this afternoon will just get hotter. Visibility's, Darby, slightly reduced, especially on the southwest side. We'll talk more about your afternoon and your 7-day forecast coming up next.
All right, thank you, C5. All right, let's take you downtown because we do have the parade tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. They'll start the closures downtown probably earlier around noon, 1 o'clock. So you want to get down there early to find a spot because it is going to be crowded. But at 2 o'clock, they'll start at Lamar Smith, which is right near City Hall. They'll take that up to Walker. Then from Walker, they'll go over to Milam. Then they'll run Milam all the way down to Pease. That is a long stretch, I'll tell you that. Then from Pease, they'll go over to Smith and then back up to Lamar. And again, that starts at 2, so get an early start. All right, still working an accident down south on Highway 288 inbound. It's basically right at the exit ramp to the South Sam Houston Tollway frontage road there. So you can see with our Houston TransStar show, they're still taking up a couple of right lanes here. They've even got the cones out here. And we've got another vehicle here on the left shoulder. Traffic's backing up towards 518. So coming out of Pearland, it's going to be a slow trek, 41 minutes to get from Highway 6 all the way into downtown. The good news is once you get past the accident, you should be a clear shot.
Okay, thank you, Darby.
We still have so much more on our World Series win coming up.
Yeah, from the excitement here in Houston to catching up with the team in L.A., we have Brandy Smith outside the team hotel. We're going to check in with her. Plus, reliving a big moment for Carlos Correa after the game. But first, we're throwing our own party right here for the Stros. Sherry? Welcome back. I want to take you out live outside our studio here where artist Gonzo this morning is working on his own tribute to the Astros and their World Series title. We also have some music going out there with DJ Adrian Flores. We're going to check in with them again here for some progress in about 10 minutes.
We had Bobby Brown going into the break. Now we have PM Don. I need his playlist. Sherry, let him know. All right, one of the biggest moments of last night's World Series Game 7 actually happened after the game.
Everyone talking about this today, too. Carlos Correa had a big surprise for his girlfriend. Brandy Smith is joining us live back in L.A. with that very sweet moment that happened on live TV, Brandy.
Yeah, it did. After all of the celebration on the field, one Astros player decided to make that moment even sweeter. Carlos Correa popped the question to his girlfriend on live TV. Check it out.
It's one of the biggest steps of my life, one of the biggest accomplishments of my life, and right now I'm about to take another big step in my life. Daniela Rodriguez, you make me the happiest man in the world. Will you marry me? Will you marry me?
A happy moment for the couple, to be sure. I'm sure a lot of hearts were breaking across the country as they watched Correa propose as well. So that was Miss Texas USA Daniela Rodriguez. Right after the Astros won the World Series, she said yes to his proposal. Check out the ring. We caught up with the happy couple after the big moment to find out if she had any idea this was coming.
What was
He
your
can keep a
reaction?
secret then?
Oh
He
my
can keep a
God,
secret?
he can. I'm good at finding things out, and I had no idea. Everybody knew. The other wives and girlfriends knew, and I was totally in the dark. Yeah.
So that means the players told him, I'm like, don't tell your girlfriend, because I know they're going to tell her. So
No, they did a good
they
job.
can't keep a secret.
No, they did. I didn't find out.
You get engaged, you win a championship, did it get any better?
So it turns out Correa had been planning this for a while, so kudos to his teammates for keeping a secret. It's unclear when the couple started dating, but their first public photo together was posted in October of last year. Those celebrations, I'm sure, continuing here at the team hotel. Hopefully the team gets a little sleep before they fly out later this morning. They gotta be back for that parade tomorrow afternoon, guys.
Oh, we're so excited. Daniela might have a shoulder injury with the weight of that diamond on her.
Yeah, really?
Beautiful. Good job, Carlos. Good job. Oh, my goodness.
That is a big rock, isn't it? As the Astros celebrated, fans were right there with them, lighting up social media last night with a lot of congratulations.
Doug Deloney's here with some of that reaction for you. Hey, Doug.
Hey, if you don't like the Astros, good luck trying to find something else in your Facebook feed this morning. It's all things Astros. People posting on our Facebook page their videos of the moment that the game ended last night. And you can see this is actually the watch party at Minute Park. Lisa Shannon saying, there were no words to describe how excited I was to witness the excitement. And look at that crowd just going crazy. I'm sure so many people. And then if you're at home, this is probably what it looked like for you, jumping up and down in your living room. A lot of people probably standing during the last 2 innings, looking at their TVs. Just a nervous excitement, but of course celebrating. And then for some people, I guess the excitement was too much. David posted this to our Facebook page. My friend Jeff had a heart attack. He's fine now knowing that the Astros won. Of course, that's a joke. Let's talk about a little bit of news in from the Astros, or the Baseball Hall of Fame this morning. This is, they've earned history, so now we have artifacts, right? Baseball Hall of Fame tweeting this morning that Alex Bregman's glove is going to Cooperstown, so it's going to the Hall of Fame. Justin Verlander's Game 6 jersey is going as well, and Charlie Morton's Game 7 cap is also going to Cooperstown, so that's pretty cool from the Baseball Hall of Fame. Ben Ryder, he's the one that had the Sports Illustrated prediction, and he has a special moment there with Carlos Correa and his dad talking about the history there. He also says the jinx is dead, the Astros won. And then we have this joke. I love this. Forget about the Illustrated prediction. Bon Appetit predicted this several years ago. Trust us, we know pot pies and baseball. I had to show that again. It's so funny. It's a fake prediction, of course. They didn't actually do that. My wife's kind of mad at me this morning, by the way.
Oh.
Last night, she was trying to video me celebrating, all excited, and I'm like, quiet, I'm tweeting. She has a video of me. They won, I'm tweeting. And no jumping up and down in my house. I was busy tweeting.
Just to clarify, though, Bon Appetit does know pot pies, right?
They do know pot pies.
we got
I don't
that.
think they know baseball.
Bon Appetit. Oh, my
Yeah, I
God.
know. Baseball, hot dogs, pot pies. I don't think that goes.
I
with
just
it.
can't. I still can't believe it, though. I mean, it's really cool.
I can't believe it
I mean, I didn't grow up in Houston, but I tell you what, this World Series has been something to see.
It
Really
has.
cool. But I
It
know
has.
these. I mean,
Me too, Dad.
really cool. Really cool. My husband did, and I think that he has
Yeah.
just been freaking out.
I'm still in
It's really cool.
Nah, me
It's really
too.
cool.
Me too.
Well, not so cool. My segue to the weather forecast. We're starting off in the mid-70s this morning, mid-80s this afternoon. A slight rain chance is possible, but really all you need to know here for today, right through the weekend, it's all about the heat and humidity. So we're going to welcome our Stros back, and we've got a nice parade set up for them tomorrow at 2 o'clock downtown. But it's all about the heat. Weather-wise, no need for the jacket. And I'm telling you, you won't need that jacket even through the weekend. Steady south wind, mostly calm conditions, but because of that south wind, we will see a slight rain chance. So the humidity is high, the temperatures are high. All across the radar, we're mostly dry, and a spotty little sprinkle is possible this morning, and that will increase about 30% chance later this afternoon. As far as our temperatures go, we're talking near record highs, especially Saturday into Sunday. A few showers possible both today and tomorrow. And then our next cold front, not until next Wednesday. So we have to pretty much get through the next 7 days of seeing well above average temperatures, not only for our afternoon highs, but also with our overnight lows. So again, no need for the jacket early this morning. No need for that tomorrow morning. If you really want to be on the safe side and grab that umbrella, otherwise, Darby, I think if you catch a stray shower this afternoon, just just kind of dodge it, run in and out, that sort of a thing. But I think everybody's going to be so excited about the Astros. Who cares?
I think
it's
you
all
are
right.
correct.
Crank the AC.
So what you're saying is it's all about that heat, no cold front.
That's right.
Did you catch that?
That's right.
Play on words. All right, let's talk parade tomorrow, 2 o'clock. The parade downtown. We're starting near City Hall at Lamar at Smith. So 2 o'clock is when the parade starts. So you need to get down there early because they'll start the closures probably around noon, 1 o'clock. So Lamar at Smith is where they're starting. They'll take it up to Walker over to Milam all the way down to Pease, then Pease back over to Smith back up to Lamar and Walker, and that's going to be the parade route there. Don't forget, 2 o'clock, get there early because there's going to be a lot of people there. All right, let's get you up to date. This accident still working, 288 inbound, right at the exit ramp to the South Sam Houston Tollway frontage road because there is no ramp to get on the tollway at this point in time here. A couple of right lanes blocked off. Traffic now is backed up to County Road 59 to before FM 518, and because of that, it takes you 40 minutes to get from Highway 6 into downtown, guys.
All right, Darby, thank you very much.
It is 6:20 this morning and still ahead. No sleep for Astros fans. Many have been waiting in line outside stores this morning to get World Series gear. We're going to check in with those shoppers coming up here in about 10 minutes.
It's our first World Series championship. We did it. They didn't believe in us, but we did it. We did it. We're champions, baby. We're champions.
Welcome back here at KHOU. We're celebrating the Stros championship with the paint party.
Yeah, throughout the morning, an artist that we commissioned has been hard at work. And let's get back out to Sherry Williams to see how he is doing. Sherry, good morning.
Oh, once in a while we break away from the jams. Sheeta and Darby have joined me, so you know it's a party. And we see what Gonzo's doing. This is Gonzo 247. Gonzo. So at first I thought you were painting Astros, and then I realized you were writing history.
Correct, because we earned it already, right? So now this is it. We earned it. Past tense. We're here. We're done. Moving forward.
Moving forward. Okay, this is a commemorative work. We've commissioned it here at Channel 11 to pay tribute to our wonderful Astros. We got the party going on because this is DJ Flowski. Oh my gosh, this guy can spin, he can miss. Flowski, you're sick, dude. You're sick.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. He's a big Astros fan, like back in the day when nobody was in the stadium. Adrian Flores is his government name. He was in the stadium because he's that kind of fan. And we're just celebrating in our parking lot. If you go to work today, we suggest you have a party too, Russell.
We want what they've been drinking. Darby and Cheetah have their own corners, so they say it's coffee, but I want some whatever they've had. Sherry, thank you. Looks good.
Waking up the neighborhood
this
morning.
That's right. All right. 6:25 the time right now. Coming up at 6:30, we're catching up with World Series MVP George Springer. Hear what he has to say about coming back to Houston a champion.